Hello everyone. So this is our 14th lecture, and in previous 13 lecture we discuss about different designs, that is completely randomized design, randomized block design and Latin square design. So in today's lecture we are going to discuss about linear contrast, then orthogonal contrast and Scheffe's method, which is used for the comparison of linear contrast. So let us discuss about these topics. Now we will start with our first topic, that is contrast or linear contrast. So we know that in completely randomized design or RBD or in LSD, we define hypothesis for treatment effect is there is no significant difference between different treatment effect, versus alternative hypothesis is at least two treatment effects are differ significantly. So this hypothesis can be written as in terms of parameters, that is h naught mu1 equals to mu2 equals to up to dash dash. Suppose we have t number of treatments, then mean for that tth treatment is mu t equals to 0. Okay, so we can write that hypothesis in this way in terms of parameters. So this can be written as h naught equals to mu1 minus mu2 up to dash dash minus mu t equals to 0. Okay, so in this hypothesis, this term mu1 minus mu2 minus mu3 up to dash dash minus mu t is nothing but contrast or linear contrast. So let us discuss its definition. So how we define this linear contrast? A contrast is a linear combination of parameters of the form. Okay, so it is a contrast is nothing but linear combination of parameters of the form. Suppose we denote this form by capital L equals to C1 mu1 plus C2 mu2 plus up to dash dash Ct mu t equals to, so this can be written as in terms of summation. So summation over I varies from 1 to t Ci into mu1. So here mu i's are nothing but means or population means for t treatments. Okay, so this is nothing but our linear contrast. So here the contrast constant, so C1 C2 up to dash dash Ct, these are the contrast constants and summation of these constants is 0. Okay, so if summation of this Ci equals to 0, then we can say that this linear combination is our contrast or linear contrast. So here we are testing hypothesis that h naught equals to summation over I Ci into mu I equals to 0, versus our alternative is summation over I Ci into mu I is not equals to 0. So we have discussed this in earlier. So in this way we define our linear contrast in summation sign. So let us discuss linear treatment contrast. So how we define this? A contrast is a linear combination of parameters of the form. So here we denote this linear combination by lambda, and it is C1 into x1 dot bar plus C2 into x2 dot bar plus up to dash dash Ct into xt dot bar. So this can be written as summation over I varies from 1 to t Ci into xi dot bar, and this summation over I Ci is 0. Okay, so now x1 dot bar, x2 dot bar and xt dot bar are treatment means. Okay, so x1 dot bar is treatment mean for first treatment, then this one is second treatment mean, and xt dot bar is tth treatment mean. So how we define hypothesis? H naught summation over I Ci into mu I equals to 0, versus H1 summation I is varies from 1 to t Ci into mu I is not equals to 0. So this is hypothesis for linear contrast. Now we want to find test statistic to test this hypothesis. Okay, so to test this hypothesis we use either t test or f test. So linear contrast in terms of treatment means, so we denote it by lambda, and in terms of summation we write this as summation over I ci into xi dot bar. Now to use t test we required mean and variance for this linear contrast or treatment mean contrast. So first we find variance of this lambda. So variance of this summation over I ci into xi dot bar. Now here we take this summation into ci outside the variance. So we get summation over I ci square variance of xi dot bar. Okay, and we know that variance of xi dot bar is sigma square upon ni. Since xij follows normal distribution. Okay, so here we get summation over I ci square into sigma square upon ni. And what is ni? Ni is the number of observations in ith treatment. So in next step we get, so here we get variance of lambda is sigma square summation I varies from 1 to t ci square upon ni. So here first we find ci square upon ni and then we take summation of that. So when sample size is equal, okay, so ni is the size of ith treatment, and if size of each treatment is same, then this variance can be written as variance of lambda equals to sigma square into this summation I varies from 1 to t ci square upon n. Means first we find summation ci square and we can divide it by n since our sample size is equal. Then under h naught our test statistic is z equals to summation I varies from 1 to t ci xi dot bar upon square root of sigma square into summation I varies from 1 to t ci square upon ni. So this test statistic is for unequal sample size of treatments, and this follows normal distribution with mean 0 and variance 1. So we use z test statistic when our sigma square is known. Okay, so when our sigma square is known, that is population variance is known, then we use our test statistic as z test statistic. Okay, else we go for t test statistic. Okay, now here we discuss, but when sigma square is unknown. Okay, so when sigma square is known we use z test, but our sigma square is unknown, then we replace this sigma square by its estimator, that is, and we know that mean sum of square due to error is unbiased estimator of sigma square. So we replace this sigma square by its MSE. Okay, so in that case we use our t test statistic. So we denote it by t calculated equals to summation over I ci into xi dot bar upon square root of this MSE into summation over I ci square upon ni, and this follows t distribution with error degrees of freedom. So here we define this test statistic for test statistic when our sample size is unequal for each treatment. If our sample size is equal for each treatment, then this can be written as summation ci square upon n. And here we can use f test statistic also. How we use this? F calculated is nothing but square of t calculated. Okay, so we know that relation between f statistic f distribution and t distribution. Okay, so we use that relation here. So f calculated is square of t calculated, and it can be defined as this summation ci into xi dot bar bracket square upon MSE into summation I varies from 1 to t ci square upon ni, and this follows f distribution with 1 and error degrees of freedom. Now when we reject H naught, if this F calculated value is greater than F critical value, then we reject our null hypothesis at given alpha percent level of significance, else we accept our hypothesis. So this is about linear contrast or contrast and its hypothesis testing. Now we will discuss orthogonal contrasts. So suppose we have two contrast or two linear contrast. Suppose first linear contrast is denoted by L1 and second one is denoted by L2. So with its coefficients Ci and Di. Okay. Suppose we have two linear contrast L1 and L2, and for L1 we have coefficients Ci and for L2 we have coefficients Di. Then when we say that these two linear contrasts are orthogonal, if summation I varies from 1 to t, Ci into Di equals to 0. Okay. So when these two contrasts are orthogonal, if the summation of coefficient, product of coefficient is 0. So where this L1 is summation I varies from 1 to t Ci into mu I, and L2 is another linear contrast, that is summation over I Di into mu I. So here we will discuss one example. So suppose our first linear contrast is minus 2 mu 1 plus mu 2 plus mu 3. So in this first linear contrast our coefficients are minus 2, 1 and 1. Okay, and second linear contrast is 0 into mu 1 minus mu 2 plus mu 3. So in this second linear contrast we have coefficients 0, minus 1 and plus 1. So when we say that these two linear contrasts are orthogonal if sum of product of coefficient is 0. So here Ci is equals to minus 2, 1 and 1, and Di equals to 0, minus 1 and 1. So here we find sum of product of these coefficients. So summation I varies from 1 to t Ci into Di equals to minus 2 into 0 plus 1 into minus 1 plus 1 into 1. So here we have 0 and this minus 1 and plus 1 will get 0. Okay, so here we can say that these two linear contrasts are orthogonal to each other. Okay, this is about linear contrast. Now we will discuss one method, and that method is used for the comparison of all contrast, and the method is called Scheffe's method for comparing all contrasts. So let us discuss what is Scheffe's method. So in many situations experimenters may not know in advance which contrast they wish to compare. Okay, so in many experimenter don't have any idea about which contrast they want to compare. So Scheffe 1953 has proposed a method for comparing any and all possible contrast between treatment means. So in the Scheffe's method, the type 1 error is at most alpha for any of the possible comparisons. So in this method, type 1 error is at most alpha for any possible comparison. So suppose that a set of M contrast in the treatment means. So suppose we define M contrast in terms of treatment means. So here we get treatment contrast. So suppose our first treatment first linear contrast is L1 equals to C11 mu 1 plus C21 mu 2 plus up to dash dash CT1 mu T. Then our second linear contrast is C12 mu 1 plus C22 mu 2 plus CT2 mu T, and up to dash dash our mth linear contrast is Cm1 mu 1 plus C2m mu 2 plus up to dash dash. So here we have 1m Cm1 mu 1 plus C2m mu 2 plus up to dash dash CTm into mu t. So these are the m linear contrast. So our nth contrast can be written as C1i mu 1 plus C2i mu 2 plus up to dash dash CTi mu t, where I is running from 1 to m. So the corresponding contrast in treatment averages. So these are the linear contrast in terms of treatment means, or we can say that in terms of parameters. Now we will find treatment contrast or linear contrast in treatment means, that is xi dot bar. So it is denoted by Li and it is defined as C1i into x1 dot bar plus C2i into x2 dot bar plus up to dash dash CTI xt dot bar. So here we have t number of treatments, and for that treatments we have t treatment means x1 dot bar, x2 dot bar up to xt dot bar, where I is running from 1 to t. So standard error for this contrast is, so for lambda I we have standard error. It is denoted by capital S to the base lambda I equals to square root of this MSE, which is unbiased estimator of sigma square, summation j varies from 1 to t in bracket Cji square. So here we have Cji square upon Ni. This is not bracket square, it is only square for Cji. So where, what is Ni? Number of observations in ith treatment. So here we define this standard error for unequal sample size of treatments. So Ni is the number of observations in ith treatment. The critical value against which lambda I should be compared. Okay, so we want to compare lambda I. For that our critical value is denoted by capital S to the base alpha comma I, and it is defined as S into lambda I, that is standard error for contrast lambda I, into square root of t minus 1, t means number of treatments, into f with alpha level of significance, treatment degrees of freedom t minus 1, and error degrees of freedom capital N minus t, where capital N is the total number of observations and t means number of treatments which we consider for comparison. So to test the hypothesis that the contrast lambda I differs significantly from 0 if this mod of lambda I is greater than S alpha I comma I. So when we reject our hypothesis if modulus of this lambda I is greater than critical value, so then we reject H naught, that the contrast lambda I equals to 0. So in this case our null hypothesis is lambda I equals to 0 versus alternative is lambda I not equals to 0. And when we reject this hypothesis, lambda, if modulus of this lambda I greater than this S alpha I, that is critical value, then we reject our null hypothesis at given alpha % level of significance. So this is about Scheffe's method for comparison of linear contrast. Now here we will find confidence interval for this contrast, that is lambda I. We can say that, here capital Li, here we find confidence interval for capital Li, since small li is the linear contrast in treatment means. Okay, so we get confidence interval. Confidence interval is lambda I minus S into S to the base alpha I comma I, that is critical value is less than equals to capital Li, then it is less than equal to. So here what is capital Li? Capital Li is the linear contrast in terms of parameters, is less than equals to lambda I plus S to the base alpha comma I. This can be written as alpha I minus. So our critical value is S with lambda I. So lambda S to the base lambda I is standard error for linear contrast lambda I. So S to the base lambda I square root of T minus 1 into F with alpha level of significance, T minus 1 degrees of freedom and capital N minus T degrees of freedom less than or equals to capital Li is less than or equals to lambda I plus S to the base lambda I square root of T minus 1 into F with alpha level of significance, T minus 1 degrees of freedom for treatment and capital N minus T degrees of freedom for error. So this is about Scheffe's method for comparison of all contrast and its confidence interval. Thank you.